Hey guys, if you're new here, my name's Siobhan and I run Peachy Lane Studio. I'm a small business owner and digital illustrator, designing cute stationery and accessories, and I do that for my full-time job. And a lot of you might not know this, but I was diagnosed with PCOS back when I was in my early 20s, and I was told that I might never have children. But with the help of fertility medication, I've been very lucky and I'm now a mummy of two. I've got a 9-year-old daughter called Amelia and a 1-year-old little boy called Oliver. So yeah, they're my two miracle babies, and I just wanted to share with you guys how I juggle my family life with a small business life, because it's not easy. And I've basically been compiling this list since Oliver was 9 months old, because I was getting a lot of comments and messages, people asking like, how do I juggle everything and how do I find the time to work? And it is hard, don't get me wrong, but I thought I'd make a list and do a video for you guys. Hopefully it helps people who are going through the same thing, who've got young babies and young children and they're not in nursery and there's no babysitters. So yeah, this video is all about how I run my business based around my baby. Obviously Amelia's a bit older now, so that's easier. She's in school, and that's when I used to work. Like up until I had Oliver, I would work during Amelia's school time, and she's obviously quite independent too as well now. So yeah, I've got a list of tips to try and help you if you're also a small business mama and you're just looking for a little bit of an idea on how other people do it. And yeah, hopefully it helps you. Okay, so my first bit of advice is work smart and in short bursts. That's the thing that saved me basically. Before I had Oliver, I was very much used to working, from the morning to the mid-afternoon and having a good 4, 5, 6 hours just to really get stuck into everything. Now I found a lot of the time I only have like an hour or so to try and get as much done as I can. So the best thing I found that works for me is to already have a plan of exactly what you want to get done in that time, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's an hour, whether it's longer. I always have a plan. To-do lists are my absolute best friend. I will never start work without a to-do list. So I basically write everything down that I need to do, sometimes on paper, sometimes I'll write it in my notes app on my phone, especially if an idea pops into my head, like, oh, I need to pack this order or I need to restock something. I'll just write it in my notes app, and then I can double check that when I start work and see what needs doing. I also like to prioritize tasks. So obviously if I've got any orders that are due to be packed, then that goes to the top of the list, and anything underneath those important tasks is just whatever I can try and do. And if it doesn't get done, I try and be really kind to myself, because at the end of the day, it's not all going to get done and I haven't got as much time as I used to have. So it's just about accepting your limitations and just celebrating what you have managed to get done. If you managed to pack 3 orders and you've managed to tidy your office, then that's great. Everything else can wait until the next day or the next time that you are able to work. And until that point, you can just keep adding to your to-do list. I just find it's really helpful to stay productive and stay motivated during that time, because if you're anything like me, if I don't have a list written out, I'll spend the first half of it just procrastinating and not really getting much done. So yeah, I always plan ahead when I know that I'm going to get some work time. But yeah, my notes app is literally full of different ideas. So I've got notes for what I need to do next during my next lot of work time. I've got a note completely filled with like YouTube video ideas. I've got notes for my next collections, notes for Patreon posts, literally anything you can think of. I've probably got a note for it. And honestly, it helps me so much. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that. It doesn't have to be anything pretty, doesn't have to be aesthetic. Literally scrap piece of paper or your phone, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, if you decide to use some nice pretty stationery, that's a bonus, because it's always nice when you do that, but it doesn't really matter. Just whatever you use, it will help you, I promise. My next point is to create a new work schedule. Now, I know this sounds really obvious because your whole life changes when you have a baby, but it's actually not as easy as you think, and it's often not as obvious as you think either. It's about learning to let go of your old work hours, your old work routine, and just basically finding a new norm. You're not going to know what works straight away. It's taken me quite a while to get to the point where I'm in a little bit of a routine with it. But the thing about babies is they grow so fast, the routines change all the time. So it's just about being adaptable. And it could be that once you find a routine that works perfectly one week, the next week it might not work as well. But yeah, it's just about just utilizing the time that you've got and just trying to get into some sort of routine with it that works for you and your baby. For example, with Oliver, he doesn't go to nursery yet. We don't have anyone who babysits or anything like that. So when my partner is in work, which is 4 days a week, I work during Oliver's nap times, which is normally twice a day. And then when he's awake, that's our time together and we enjoy that. And then when he goes to bed at night, I'd say most nights I end up working at least for a little bit, even if it's just an hour. Sometimes it's a bit longer and I do stay up quite late, but normally from about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, I will be working. What it's turned into now is my video editing time, but before that it was working on my new collection. It was a lot of drawing time. So yeah, it just depends what I need to get done at the time. At the minute I'm not making a new collection, so it's all about video editing. And then during the day, during his nap times, he normally has about an hour to an hour and a half on each nap. However, he is known to wake up sometimes after like 20 minutes. So for his nap times, I tend to do things that I could just pick up and put down quite easily. So that's social media content, product listings, photo editing, and sometimes I'll do sketching and stuff, but I won't normally go to the next step. That's my main plan at the minute. And it's been that way for a while, to be fair, and it seems to be working quite well. At least I know in the evenings, if he does wake up, I've also got my partner there with me. So if he does wake up, Dylan can go upstairs and settle him, and then we can just take it in turns sort of thing. But it means it's a bit easier for me to put it down and go upstairs. And then on Dylan's days off, we normally do have something on, whether it's a baby class, whether it's an appointment, or whether we literally just need to go and get shopping or something. We normally have something on. So my work hours aren't actually as long as you'd expect on his days off, but I'd basically just try and get an hour or two extra while Ollie is awake. Dylan will be downstairs with Ollie and I'll just be upstairs working away for a little bit. I normally pack orders during that time and just get some little bits done that I can't do downstairs, which is really helpful to have that bit of time. I see it as more of like a bonus hour. Yeah, whatever time I get on Dylan's days off is a bonus and it is super helpful. But again, I make sure I've got a plan. I make sure I'm productive during it, because there's nothing worse than coming upstairs when you know you've got like an hour or an hour and a half and you then don't actually get a lot done. So I always try and have a specific idea in mind of what to get done, just get stuck in as soon as I'm at this desk. Okay, my next bit of advice for you is to accept that things might not go to plan. Now, I know it might be frustrating if, for example, 1 week you hardly get any work time. You might have been too busy, or you literally might have just been too tired. Nap times might not have gone very well. Sometimes you will get a bit of a bad week, and that's okay, because your customers are still going to be waiting for you. All your ideas are still going to be there. They can be done afterwards. But I do understand, especially if your brain is in work mode and it's just ticking away at all the things you need to get done. It is hard, and I do fully appreciate that. I'm the same. Even while I'm getting Oliver's dinner sorted, sometimes my mind is in work mode and I'm thinking, what do I need to do on his next nap, and what do I need to do? But it's just about trying to let go of that and just being in the moment. If you're in work mode during the work hours, that's fine. Any other time, try not to let it get to you, especially if things aren't going to plan and you're not getting as much work time that you want to. Just enjoy the time with your baby. They grow up so quickly, and your business is still going to be waiting for you when they're a little bit older. So that's what I keep telling myself, because I'll be the first to admit it is hard sometimes, especially when you've gone from being so busy and having all that time to then being very limited, and you've still got all these ideas. You had a plan in mind for growing your business and it kind of feels like it's on a bit of a standstill, but it'll get back there, and you've just got to be positive. That's what I'm doing anyway. This leads me to my next point, which I think I've touched on anyway, but it's be kind to yourself. So I've personally seen a drop in sales. I've seen a drop in engagement on social media, favorites on Etsy, Pretty much everything. There's been a drop since I came back from maternity leave, but it's to be expected. One, I've been off, so the algorithm isn't going to like me as much. It's the same with YouTube. My views have dropped dramatically and I'm still waiting for them to get back up, but I'm trying not to let it get to me. It's nothing that I've done wrong. I needed to take the time off and I don't regret it in any way. And now that I'm back, like, yes, I'm working hard to try and get these things back up and get the momentum going again. But at the same time, I can't work as much as I used to. So it's going to take a while for it to get to that point where it's reflecting the same sales and views and all that sort of stuff. It's just about being gentle with yourself and not taking it personally, because at the end of the day, you were growing a baby and that's a miracle in itself. Anything else comes second. So yeah, just be kind to yourself. Don't put yourself down. You can only do your best with the time that you've got. So just be proud of that. The next piece of advice I've got, which leads on pretty nicely, is enjoy the time with your baby. This for me is the most important one. Just enjoy being a mummy, because you'll never get this time back and they grow so fast. They change in the blink of an eye, and before you know it, they're walking and talking and they're not your tiny little newborn baby anymore. So enjoy this time with your little one. Rest when you need to, even if it means you're not working for a few days, even if it means your business is going to take a little bit longer to grow. It'll still be there, as I say. That is the joy of running your own business. You literally have the flexibility of choosing when you work. And it's one of the main reasons I started my small business, because Amelia was quite young at the time and I wanted something that was going to fit around my family life. I literally could not find a job that had hours that were suitable enough for me. The ones that did seem like they had suitable hours, they still wanted full flexibility, which I just couldn't give. So that is the joy of running a small business. You get to make the rules, and that includes enjoying time with your baby. And finally, I'd just like to add that I know this might not be the case for everyone. Some of you might have been quite lucky and not really seeing a difference in like the drop in sales and things like that. And if that's you, I'm really glad. But for me, I know it's going to take me a while to get Peachy Lane Studio back to where it was before maternity leave. And honestly, it took me a while to accept that. I'd worked so hard for so many years to then feel like I'd sort of taken a step back in the business. But it's completely normal. You have taken a step back in the business. Me, for example, I went on maternity leave. I had to extend that because I had some really bad health issues. So I was in hospital a couple of times. That's been ongoing. I've had to have surgery and things. So there's been a lot of time where I would have liked to have opened sooner, but I just wasn't able to. I'm just grateful I've got 2 happy, healthy children, and I know I'm going to get back to where it was, and it's going to be even better and bigger. And I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to it, but I know it's going to take me a little bit longer. But during that time, I'm just going to enjoy watching my children grow and bond with each other. It's just precious family time, and you really can't compete with that. So yeah, it's not a bad thing at all. Being able to make memories and enjoy all this time together while knowing that my business is still waiting for me, it's just the best thing. And yeah, I feel so grateful for it. So I hope you found this useful. I know everyone's different, but this is just what works for me. Just basing it off my partner's days off and my baby's nap times. I just want to show you guys that it really is possible to juggle it, and hopefully you get some ideas from it. Let me know what advice was the most helpful one for you, or if you have any small business mama tips, please do share them in the comments so we can all read them and help each other out, because that's what we need to do at the end of the day, just support each other. But yeah, I'm going to get going now. I'm going to go downstairs and spend some time with my family. Then I'll be working again when Ollie naps. The next time I see you will probably be for a studio vlog, so I'll see you on that one. But let me know if you'd want to see any more talking videos. I might do a Q&A one at some point, but I've got loads of other ideas. But yeah, let me know if you've got anything specific you'd like to see from me or that you'd like me to talk through. So yeah, I'll see you all soon, and thanks for listening.